taking a chance. Telling me to dance, taking a chance. Telling me to dance, taking a chance.
I know what you're thinking. This must be a mistake. After the countdown, there's supposed to be our network teaser. There's supposed to be the show introduction. But before we get into all that today, I really just want to take a minute and tell you all how much I appreciate you, how much I appreciate you being here, how much I appreciate you being a part of my life and my journey. Some of you may think that you're just coming to watch a show, and I consider you more than just someone out in the audience. You are someone that has had an impact on my life, and I appreciate you and thank you so much today. We don't often take the time that we need to share our appreciation for people. Yesterday I had that opportunity not once but twice, and I realized how much it meant to me to have someone say that to me. And so I really wanted to make sure that you knew how much I love you and appreciate you today before we get into all of our shenanigans on the show. So I love you today. And now let's get into the fun. Good morning, everybody, and happy Thursday to you today. Now that I've got everyone in the audience crying this morning, I love you all so very much, and I appreciate you. I really did have a moment yesterday. I had a couple of moments yesterday where I had the opportunity to reconnect with a couple of people that really mean a lot to me, and it's those connection moments where you're like, thank you. Thank you for sharing what I mean to you and for giving me the opportunity to share what you mean to me. And I was in my feels yesterday. I really was. And it's carried over to this morning. And then as I'm sitting there in my feelings, I get another message from a friend who shared the same sentiment. And I'm like, well, this is what we're supposed to do today. We're supposed to be a little sentimental today, but I'm excited to be here with you for another episode of Project Joy Live. It is Thursday, and may the 4th be with you this morning. And we have any Star Wars fans out there today? Let me know if you are celebrating, if you're watching Star Wars today. I'm going to be real with you. I enjoyed, so back when I was a teenager, the Star Wars movies came back into the theater. The original 3 Star Wars movies came back into the theater for like a special I don't even remember what it was. It was some kind of special presentation. And I had a boyfriend at the time who was really into Star Wars, and he's like, "What? You've never seen Star Wars? You got to come watch it." I enjoyed the movies, okay? I enjoyed the movies. Are they my favorite thing in the world? Don't hurt me. No. I can't get into it. As far as like being like a hardcore fan, but I do think it's awfully funny that we say May the 4th be with you on May the 4th. So that's what I'm doing here today. So May the 4th be with you. And if you are a hardcore Star Wars fan, please don't stone me. Okay. I can't. But it's good. Like it's okay. Like, will I sit there and binge watch them like I binge watch the entire 8 Harry Potter movies all the time? No, that will never be me with Star Wars. But I love you and I appreciate you. And I hope you have a good May the 4th today. Be careful though, tomorrow. I hear it's the Revenge of the 5th. Okay, that's all I've got. All right, listen, on today's show, we've got some national days to talk about today. We, of course, have birthdays coming up at the end of the show, but I have no one in my immediate circle who that I could see on social media that has a birthday today. So if you're having a birthday today, please let me know. There are some celebrities we'll talk about, but we'll do that at the end of the show. In addition, we're going to be talking about, on the contrary, on the other side of things, what it looks like to not choose joy. And what will happen if we choose not to be joy or choose joy. And the reason I'm doing this is because I was forwarded a fantastic video yesterday by the fabulous Brittany out in the audience, who is here today giving her front row seat. If you're joining us live this morning, please share with us where you're joining from down in the comments and what is bringing you joy today. Brittany loves some Star Wars. It's a lot going on in the movies, but the overall message of never lose hope, that's the part that always gets me in my field. And you know what, to be to be fair, I think it's a very similar message of the Harry Potter movies as well, as well as leaning into your magic and all of that stuff. But yeah, it's good. It's just not my favorite thing. However, Brittany sent me a video yesterday because we all know that I love some astrology, and I am all Aquarius all the time. All the time. And I shy away from the astrology videos because they go anytime any people talk about Aquarius, especially making funny videos, they talk about how we don't have any feelings or don't have any emotions. And that is not the case at all. Like, it's just process, like we process emotions in a different way. We are really, really good as Aquarius at compartmentalizing our emotions. So even within relationships, so if I have kind of a multifaceted relationship with someone, so say we work together but we're also friends and we hang out outside of work, I'm like, and now let's say we have a little rift in our relationship, I'm really good at coming back to the workplace and being like, compartmentalizing those emotions and being like, we still need to get stuff done. Like, we put this aside, we'll deal with the other stuff, outside of work, but I'm good at putting them in a box. And so I really appreciated this video that Brittany sent me. It was a really funny video about being Aquarius, and it hit the nail on the head. It talked about specifically how that we do absolutely have emotion. It just shows up very differently. We're very good at putting things in a box and putting things aside when need be. We can light switch those emotions really easily. So in the other part of this video that she shared talked about how Aquarians tend to be contrarians. Now, a contrarian is someone who, the video shares, everybody says go left, and Aquarius is like, nope, I'm going right. Just because, not really for any other reason other than to just go right. And one of the things that I want to talk about today is, on the contrary, on the other side of, you've come in here to Project Joy weekday mornings, 8 o'clock, Monday through Friday. And I'm here going, choose joy, be joy, find joy, look joy, and how wonderful it is for your life. What happens though if you come to the show and you listen to all of this and you start to feel that Aquarian contrarian moment, and you're like, I'm not going to choose that. Nope. What does that look like for us not to choose joy? Does it matter? Does it have any impact? We're going to be talking about that coming up in just a moment. Susan says, hi from New Mexico. I'm not sure what will be bringing me joy today. It's too windy outside to ride. Oh, well, that's sad. You know, I can't ever really imagine what the weather is like out there. I'm curious about that. And I do also see that Lori is joining us this morning. Lori, I can't understand for the life of me why I can see you on my personal page in the comments, but I cannot see you in the comments that come up on the broadcast. It is the most perplexing thing. I'm going to have to message StreamYard and be like, why is this happening? Because I see Susan there. It's the weirdest. Anyway, I'm going to go down that rabbit hole and it's not going to be fun. Let's get into our national days today and have a little bit of fun with that for just a moment. So there's a few things happening today. I don't really think that you needed to have a snack ready. Maybe you do. I don't know. I think you're good on the snack front this morning. But as I mentioned, it is National Star Wars Day. May the 4th be with you. Or is it May the Force be with you? It all depends on whether you like using puns or not. Thousands of Star Wars enthusiasts celebrate this day each year with parties and celebration around the nation. If you are a fan, the National Star Wars Day allows you to dress like your favorite character, say your favorite lines from the series, and catch a movie or read a book. So, question, if you had to say it was national law for you to dress like a Star Wars character. And I don't want to hear I don't like it because I don't, like I said, I'm not the biggest fan either. If you had to pick one Star Wars character to dress up as, you had to, who would you dress up as? I would go with either typical Yoda or Jar Jar Binks. That's who I would go to. I don't know why. I just think he's cute and funny. So that's who I would pick. Let me know who you would pick out in the audience today. In addition, it is National Orange Juice today. I know a lot of people start their morning with a nice cold glass of orange juice. I love fresh orange juice. It's so good. I don't drink it a whole lot because, it does the blood sugar spike thing. But it is delicious, and I love some orange juice. It's also National Candied Orange Peel Day. Have you ever eaten a candied orange peel? That's what we need to know. So basically, what you do is you boil them, you slice them, you sugar them, and then when they dry, it makes a little treat. It's good on cookies, fruit cakes, flavors to other foods, but some people just like them as a snack on their own. So let me know if you've ever eaten candied orange peel. I think they're kind of delicious. I think the same people who like candied orange peel probably enjoy orange marmalade. I would venture to say, because it's got that bitter peel flavor. But at any rate, I also want to give a really huge shout out to my fellow entrepreneurs out there. It is National Self-Employed Day. It is dedicated to individuals that bravely venture out to create their own business to support themselves, their family, and their community. Self-employed business owners are amongst the hardest working individuals you'll ever meet. They continuously strive to meet their goals to be successful. The self-employed business owner never quits and faces every obstacle they encounter head on. In fact, there is little that can stop a self-employed business owner from succeeding. And I will agree. Listen, we get in some kind of mood to, if something doesn't work, we will push through that and figure out another way. So happy Self-Employed Day to all my fellow entrepreneurs out there. It's also World Password Day. Make sure you guys are choosing strong passwords to keep your information safe on the intrawebs. And it's also National Weather Observer Day. I wish it was Wednesday when this day happened, because Weather Wednesday is a thing here on Project Joy Live, but it is not. And I just want to say that since we had that moment of joy, not joy, where we expressed our distaste for the 2 weeks of rain that we were supposed to get here in Mystic, Connecticut, that's changed since then. So that leads into our next topic quite well. Susan said she would be Darth Vader. That's who she would dress up as. And Brittany said, this is all the reason for me to buy a Grogu onesie. Listen, it happens. It needs, I need to see this now. Okay. Brittany said, the thing that brings me joy today is friendships. I'm so beyond thankful for the friends I do have. I love that, Brittany. And I feel the same this morning. And all of that said, we should get into our topic today, which on the contrary, may spark some feelings other than joy. I'm not sure. We're going to find that out right now. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. If you're just joining us for this segment, I would love for you to share down below where you're joining from and what is bringing you joy today. Lori, by the way, said that she would dress up as Yoda. So I love that. I just have to keep going over to my YouTube and my Facebook and figure out why I'm not seeing her comments. But at any rate, so we talk on this show about finding the joy, being the joy, looking for the joy, creating the joy, and what a magical, wonderful place your life will become if you do that. We have also shared moments on this show where we've talked about the other side of that, when things are really challenging, how it can be hard to find the joy, be the joy, create the joy. When you've lost your job, when your house burns down, when there's craziness going on around the world, when someone you love dies, when you struggle with mental health, when you struggle with finding the joy within yourself. And I want us to just take a moment and contemplate what would be different, what would change. Have there been moments when you've allowed yourself to do anything other than choosing joy in the moment? Can you think of a time when you've consciously chosen to do anything other than finding the joy or being the joy? I can think of a few moments in my life where I've consciously chosen to perhaps be an S. I can think of a couple times in my life where I have chosen to wallow in the sadness, the grief, the anger, the bitterness, the frustration for way longer in looking back than I probably should have. Let me know if you've ever experienced that. Definitely have, Brittany says. And what does that look like for you? When you choose not to engage in a joyful experience, Susan says yes. What does that look like for you? How does that feel? Are you conscious of it doing any kind of detriment to your life as it's happening? I can speak from my experience, and when I think about those moments when I've chosen something other than joy, when I think about my experience, it has been, I don't think I think I'm aware that I'm choosing to be some kind of way in the moment, but I'm not sure if I'm consciously, simultaneously aware that it's doing me any harm in the moment. Brittany says a hot mess. And see, I think I look back on those moments in my life and I go, yep, that was Hot Mess Express, right? Like that was I was a whole vibe and not a good one. Um but as I'm thinking about it, I don't think I realize how messy it is as it's happening. And so I want to get into this topic of what is it actually like, what will happen if you consciously choose um not to choose joy, if you consciously choose to engage in emotions, feelings, behavior that are not joy, realistically, what will happen? Um, as much as I want to sit here and tell you, as the queen of joy, that your entire existence is going to fall apart, I can't do that. I can't do that. Because the truth is, as we've all sat here and evaluated these times when we've done that, are we not still here today? We are. So then what's the point? What's the point of not just allowing ourselves to go down the rabbit hole of anger, sadness, frustration, all of that? What's the harm then in just not allowing ourselves to do that? Well, the one thing that we've talked about often on this show is that when the challenging moments do come up and we haven't actively practiced this finding the joy, being the joy, creating the joy, it becomes more difficult to come out of those dark nights of the soul, as Linda Joy called them on My Way the other night. It becomes more difficult for us to flip that switch. It becomes more difficult for us to have hope and to realize that things can get better. Because when things are tough, we've already talked about that until we're blue in the face on this show about how tough it is when things are hard to look back, to be able to look back and go, oh, I've gotten through everything up until this point. It's all going to be fine. It's challenging for us to be able to do that. But when we've actively practiced being, creating, finding the joy, we can come through things a little bit quicker. It's easier in the hard times to stay in the mindset of, I hate using the word positivity, but to stay in a place that is more conducive to yummy things happening in our lives. Brittany says, but as I look deeper, that's where I find my power, in those moments where I don't find joy, eventually anyway. What now, if we were to, you guys know I like to go down the rabbit hole, so that's where we're going today. If we were to just choose to not look at the joy, I want to know how many of you think that joy is going to just find you anyway? That what if the joy finds you and we were to just be closed off to it? Do you think that if we were not actively that we would be able to see as much joy as we do if we're not actively practicing it? Let me know what you think about that. If let me say it all in English here for you. If we were not actively practicing finding, creating, being joy, would we be as open to all of the joy that presents itself? And good morning, Angelique. I see you there this morning. North Florida in the house. Susan said, I would become more of a couch potato. Now I am more conscious of where I am at and work to look for and choose joy. Your gratitude months really helped me to know to shift my mindset. I love that. I love that. It's a consciousness, it's an awareness that happens when we actively pursue joy. But if we were to, Susan said, absolutely not. We wouldn't be able, there's more possibilities that happen that open up to us where joy is concerned, if we choose to actively pursue joy, again, whether that's finding it, being it, creating it, however we want to look at it, we would continue to be in that dark night of the soul, Brittany said, if we just shut it down. If we said, I am not going to be an active participant in the joy in my life. Angelique says, nope, I'm actively finding my joy. I don't know what I would do. It's so much going on to distract me. Absolutely. I agree. And it's hard when we have so many things going on around us that are seemingly out of our control, right? We talk about things. The only thing we can control in any situation is ourselves and our reaction to it. And so our reaction to it could absolutely be choosing to find joy. Now, there are times when we might look like a little bit of a maniacal crazy person when the shit's hitting the fan, so to speak, and we are over here like, oh, joy. We look like we're crazy. We look like we're crazy. But the thing of it is, like, there's been plenty of times when I have when I have been that person, like, I'm processing lots of things, but because I'm choosing for joy to be my default, the joy is what comes out. I mentioned earlier that I had the opportunity yesterday, 2 different opportunities to talk to friends that I hadn't talked to in quite some time. And this keeps happening. This is what happens in a retrograde, by the way, you guys. These old relationships will pop up and be like, oh, would you like to revisit this? You do have the power to say yes or no. But these were things that I wanted to revisit anyway. And so I had the opportunity to reconnect with somebody yesterday. And we were discussing everything that we had been through in the last 6 months or so. And they're hard, challenging things. And do you know what? We laughed through the entire conversation. And there was even a moment that was so dark, and I laughed because what else are you going to do but choose to find the joy? And I laughed, and then I was like, oh, that was wildly inappropriate. I'm really sorry. And he's like, no, God, please laugh. Please laugh at this, because that's where we're at with it. That's where we're at. But if I can't imagine how that 2-hour phone call would have been if we would have both been shut off to choosing the joy. That would have probably been the most miserable 2 hours of my life. But instead, we chose to find the joy in the conversation, however crazy we may have looked in the process. Brittany said, when shit is hitting the fan and things are out of my control, I usually make a change with my hair. Hence the short hair now. It must be a Brittany thing. Listen, remember when she shaved her head? Girl, if you're out there today and you feel like you need bangs, I want you to think about it first. Perhaps send me a message, Jessica@thebreakthroughshow.com, and find out if we're on that contrary side. Do we need to make some shifts? Is that necessary? Okay, this is your intervention. Okay. Lori said, I think everyone goes through this. Some days are harder than others. It's a process, and it's okay to step back and feel your feeling. I have to get it out. As a Leo, I tend to bottle up my emotions. Then there are the beautiful, joyful days. I try not to take those days for granted. I love that. I love that. Yeah, I mean, you got to feel what you're feeling, but when we get out of this place, when we consciously say, I just want to be nasty today. Like, I just want to be pissed off right now. I just want to be sad. I just want to feel all the things. And it, like Lori said, it's okay to feel all of those things. Absolutely. It's okay to feel all of those things. However, when we choose to sit in something for so long and we can't see the sunshine anymore, we can't see the good things that are going on, it becomes harder and harder to find our way out when we consciously choose to not. We can feel all the things, but also consciously choose to be joy at the same time. And when we choose not to, on the contrary, on the other side of things, it can make things harder for us. It can make things harder for us. I'm going to take a quick break, you guys, and we're going to be right back to talk about birthdays as well as all of the fun that's coming up next week on the Breakthrough Show Network as well. So we'll be right back after this. Don't go anywhere.
Breakthroughs are about more than you might think. They're about discovering who you are, digging deep, reaching to the core of your soul. They're about healing yourself, understanding your beliefs, creating a ripple effect. And it's not just those initial moments that matter. It's about using them to bring more joy into our own lives and the lives of others. It's about having fun, letting loose, enjoying every moment life has to offer. It's about finding a safe space. It's about creating connection. Join us each and every day for exclusive programming, special events, and a community to call home, where we invite you to explore, change the way you look at and live your life, and go beyond the breakthrough. So we ask you, are you ready? We'll see you online at thebreakthroughshow.com.
Welcome back to Project Joy Live. I'm your host, Jessica Dugas. May the 4th be with you. I hope you are set up to have an amazing day today. We've been talking a little bit about, on the contrary, of choosing joy, what the other side of choosing joy looks like. And the truth of it is that your world's not going to end if you choose not to choose joy, if you choose not to find the joy, if you choose not to be the joy. But gosh, life can be so much prettier, so much more joy, more joyful, if you choose to engage in, be an active participant in the joy in your life. I put a link down in the comment, you guys, for us to join our mailing list. And that is how you keep in contact with us as details come out about our special weekend coming up in October. The Breakthrough Show Network Weekend Experience is coming to you live here in Southeastern Connecticut, October 13th through 15th. We're going to have so much fun. We're going to have breakthroughs, of course. We are going to have networking. We're going to have crying moments together. We're going to have fun. It's going to be a really, really amazing time. We're going to have some pretty in-depth connections happening, but also just fun. Just fun, just some relaxing moments. It's going to be a blast. So make sure you get plugged into our mailing list to keep up to date with the happenings, the planning of that event. I'm super excited. I've already got some good names who have messaged me and said, of course I'm coming. So people that you guys have loved on the Breakthrough Show Network. So I'm really excited about that. People are getting pumped up and I am here for it. So I got to talk about birthdays today. I have no one in my inner circle. Brittany's like, someone pick me up, put me in your suitcase. I don't have anyone in my inner circle that has birthdays today. So we're going to talk about celebrities. And in the meantime, if you have had a birthday this week and I have missed you, or if you have a birthday today, please let me know so that we can celebrate you as well. Audrey Hepburn had a birthday today. You know, I was talking about when we were talking about the Met Gala the other day on the show. I thought there was a up close picture of Olivia Rodrigo, her silhouette, like it screamed Audrey Hepburn to me. And then my daughter saw the dress, like zoomed out, like saw her from far away. I was like, she kind of looks like, it looks like spaghetti. It looked like spaghetti. But just had that vibe. But at any rate, Audrey Hepburn, happy birthday. Love that old Hollywood look. Lance Bass, tearing up my heart, from NSYNC, has a birthday today. Happy birthday, Lance Bass. I thought it was the funniest thing. Do you guys watch The Circle on Netflix? Back, I don't remember what season it was, but his personal assistant, Lance Bass from NSYNC, his personal assistant went on the show, The Circle, and pretended to be him. And she did a pretty good job. Because she had all of the facts about NSYNC and everything. But then he ended up popping in at the end to show his comments and stuff. It was really kind of cute. Also, I got a good laugh out of this morning because I don't think I ever realized this, but it's both Katherine Jackson, the mom of the Jackson 5, and Jackie Jackson, one of the kids from the Jackson 5, not kid anymore, obviously, both of their birthdays. And I got a really good laugh out of this because, as many of you know, my two youngest daughters share a birthday. They're not twins. They just were born on the same day, 2 days apart, or 2 years apart. And so, I'm always joking with people that when you have a large family, that's bound to happen eventually. So I think it's really fun that Katherine Jackson, the mama of the Jackson 5, shares a birthday with Jackie Jackson, one of the kids from the Jackson 5. It was bound to happen, as we say over here. Christian singer Chris Tomlin has a birthday today. Happy birthday to Chris. And also country singer, country great, really, Randy Travis has a birthday today as well. So I love that. You remember that? Are we talking about The Circle? That was a fun moment. So that's all our birthdays today. We have to get our birthday song on. Are you ready? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Audrey Hepburn, Lance Bass, Katherine Jackson, Jackie Jackson, Chris Tomlin, and Randy Travis. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to all those that are celebrating today and who have celebrated over the last week. Yes, we are celebrating with you. Coming up tomorrow, we are going to have our Fun Friday, so you never know what's going to happen. And I want to remind you guys that Saturday, I'm sad that it doesn't happen on a weekday this year, but Saturday is officially Black and Yellow Day. What is Black and Yellow Day, Jessica? Well, my brother's 38th birthday would have been on Saturday. And the reason why we start celebrating it here on the Breakthrough Show Network is because when my brother passed away 13 years ago, that experience for me was the catalyst that started my journey. And then writing about that journey that started with the passing of my brother ended up being what fueled the creation of the Breakthrough Show and the Breakthrough Show Network following. So I would love for you to all celebrate with me my brother Adam's birthday on May the 6th. It's coming up this Saturday. Wear black and yellow. That's the first thing. You got to wear your black and yellow. And I also want to remind you to complete some random acts of kindness for people as you see them. Doesn't have to cost you any money. You could send little notes. You could spend money if you wanted to, but it could just be a loving thing that you do. I want to remind you to do that. I may end up showing some clips next week from our Saturday. We are meeting down. If you are in Southeastern Connecticut or in this area, you can come join us at Sneakers at 7:30 on Saturday. So look up Sneakers in Groton. You can join us down there to have a little toast in honor of my brother, and it's going to be amazing. So wear your black and yellow. Also, don't forget to take care of your skin. It is Melanoma Awareness Month, and it's ironic that it's also his birthday month and all of that as well. And that was what he lost his life to. So wear your black and yellow on Saturday. Also coming up next week, we have a really busy week, you guys, and I just realized that my calendar somehow got closed over here. So I need to bring it back up so I can make sure I'm telling you the right things. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday next week on Project Joy Live, I will be joined by the Queen of Gratitude, Sharon Saraga Walters. We're going to be taking a deep dive on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday about how gratitude and joy are connected, how we're going to implement those things more in our lives, and what we can do. I also mentioned that tomorrow we have an amazing show coming up, a live version of the Breakthrough Show happening here. It is a special edition with someone you may not have seen in quite some time, Brandon Croucher. Brandon and I were connected through a lot of different shows, a lot of different programmings, working together often. And then Brandon just disappeared. Where did he go? What has he been up to? And how can we work on real-time forgiveness, accountability, and all of those things in our relationships when tough things happen, when someone drops the ball? What does that look like? Real time. You're going to have all the tea, all the growth, and all the breakthroughs coming up tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern time on the Breakthrough Show Network. So be sure to be looking for that. And Brandon will also be joining us on Project Joy on Tuesday morning to talk about joy in connecting with our pets, our animals. So that's going to be a lot of fun. That'll be on Tuesday the 9th. Thursday, the 11th, we got all kinds of stuff happening on Project Joy next week. Do you guys remember a guest that we had last year named Tim? Tim is amazing, and he's going to be joining us on Thursday, teaching us to be authentic, be ourselves, and we're going to have a lot of fun with that on Project Joy Live. Next week, we also have Beyond 2D. On Tuesday, we have Divine DNA. On Wednesday, we have lots happening. So tune in, get plugged into our mailing list. Find us over on YouTube, The Breakthrough Show Network. Go to thebreakthroughshownetwork.com. There's lots of ways for you to get plugged in. I want to go and double check my comments over here. This is really upsetting me about my comments. Lori said it's a release and cleansing of your heart, mind, and spirit. Then clarity kicks in and you feel recharged. I love that. I love it. All right, you guys, I hope you are set up to have an amazing day. Thank you all for being here today. Thank you for choosing the joy this morning with me and finding the joy. I'll be back tomorrow morning for Fun Friday. And until that time, I want to remind you to make joy a priority in your life the rest of the day today, but every day. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye, everybody.